Good evening, Ajahn.
Good evening, Sriju.
Good evening, everybody here in the hall. So we're doing a bit of a hybrid event, and also good evening to everyone on YouTube as well, or, wherever you are. So Ajahn Nissarano today is at Newbury Buddhist Monastery. We've got about 10 or 12 people in the hall here at the Buddhaloka Centre. And at the moment, I can't see how many. We've got a couple of people online on YouTube. So I think just about everyone. Has everyone here been in the hall here been to one of these sessions before? Yeah, so I won't go through the main introduction portion of it. So just before passing on to Ajahn, could I just please ask that everyone just check that their mobile phones are in silence? And so what we'll do is Ajahn Nissarano will, sorry, is it okay, Ajahn?
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
Just thinking of this one's inside.
So Ajahn Nissarano will run the guided meditation. He'll give his introduction and then could do the guided meditation. After that, we'll have some announcements, and then we'll go into Q&A. And for the people in the hall, as usual, we can pass the microphone, and Ajahn will be able to answer that. He'll be able to hear us. And for people online, you can just type it into the live chat on YouTube, and I can ask the question on your behalf to Ajahn, and he'll be able to answer that. So with that, I'll pass it on to you, Ajahn. Thank you.
Thank you, Sriju. And hello to everybody watching this either in Buddhaloka Centre or in other places online. So this is an experiment to see how it goes, because Ajahn Sada is away at the moment. And just to mention that usually we have, for those online who may not be used to the format, usually an introduction at 15 minutes. I usually go longer. And then followed by about 45 minutes of guided meditation, and then Q&A after that until about 9 o'clock if there are questions. So that's the format. And I was just going to do the introduction and mention that in the last week, it's really been the funeral season, you could say. I don't know if it's winter or what, but I've had one funeral and one memorial service. And also I've had two people I know from Perth who've passed away. And so I've seen one of their funerals that's been recorded. So it makes us very aware, doesn't it? I mean, when you go to funerals, it makes you very aware, for me anyway, of two things. And that's of time passing. These people that you've known for such a long time passing away, and that nothing lasts. And especially when you see, as you do, the slideshow of the person's life. You see them from when they're small. Occasionally you even see them as babies, which is quite amazing. And then you see them right towards the end of their life as well. So what are we seeing? We're seeing the body passing from childhood usually to old age. So it really points to that impermanence, that everything is a flow or a flux of this impermanence, this change, this unreliability, this uncertainty. In Buddhism, anicca. And secondly, and this is the point of this evening, if you think, oh, you're going to talk about impermanence and death, and this will be the focus actually. The second one is when we're at these funerals, it makes us very aware of the importance of the good qualities of the person that's passed away, that touched us. That is really the main focus. Their kindness, their friendliness, their generosity, humour, caring, compassion, and their wisdom as well. And of course, and on some occasions, their achievement too, particularly those that benefited others as well. So these are the things we remember, and usually there's a sense at a funeral of being grateful for those good qualities, and it's not really at funerals. I've never heard anybody talk about how wealthy a person was, how powerful they were, what status they had. All this sort of thing is not what is really mentioned at funerals. It's not what actually connects us as human beings. So, and of course, these good qualities are really, aren't they? They're our deepest wishes. That's really the crux of it. You know, like this love, this friendship, this acceptance, kindness, and safety and security, peace, contentment. All these things are very much what we really are looking for in life. And a sense of satisfaction, a sense of meaning and purpose. And of course, also not only these positive qualities, but to be free of some of the problems and difficulties of the body and the mind, which get more challenging as we get older. So, and also the mind, of course, you know, all those negative states of mind, fear, anger, jealousy, anxiety, you name it. There's quite a few on offer. And what state of mind matches our deepest wishes? And of course, it's metta. So I'm talking about metta this evening. Metta, of course, is often translated as loving kindness. I prefer friendliness or just kindness. And it's an universal, the development of this emotion is really, we're developing it universally and impartially, not specifically aimed at just our friends or people we like, but all beings. And the Buddha actually didn't teach cultivating metta, developing metta, this kindness, this friendliness towards individuals. You don't see that much in the Buddha's teaching. And it's a feeling. This is the important thing. It's a feeling. It's not words. It's not all these other things. It's not a theory. It's a feeling of well-wishing, of friendliness, of kindness, a goodwill, appreciation, any of those sorts of emotions. And of course, we hear it in the Metta Sutta about safety and security too, wishing in gladness and in safety. May all beings be happy. This is the translation. And of course, it's natural. This quality of the heart is natural to all human beings. And of course, someone like the Buddha has really taken it to the max. It's incredible to make it powerful and unbounded, not limited at all. And of course, it can lead to these exalted states of mind where the mind is, they call it the liberation of the mind through loving kindness or metta. So this is really something extraordinary and powerful. So it's good to, and of course it can be used even as a vehicle to awaken, to insight, once one's come out of these deep states of meditation that are based on the metta. So, and point of metta, of course, main feature is, and I think so important, is metta is being on good terms with ourselves and others. And this is very important for us, isn't it? Because we have to live with ourselves. And it's good if we can accept ourselves as we are, like and accept ourselves as we are, and knowing that we won't be perfect and that but we can change in time. We can go in a different direction with the help of the Buddha. So I think this is so important for us. And I know I lived in a cave in Sri Lanka for 8 years, and I had to be on good terms with myself because it'd be pretty difficult otherwise. And it's interesting. I wasn't lonely, so it was that's part of the power of metta too. And for those who think metta is just a sort of a very fluffy sort of emotion, I remember my first teaching that I gave as a monk when I was about four years as a monk, as a fully ordained monk at our meditation group in Armidale. And I was doing the introduction, and I got these huge waves of metta coming through the body. And I thought, my goodness, what's this? Because I wasn't teaching metta that night or kindness, friendliness that night, but it was like 240-volt metta. So it was really quite extraordinary. So it showed me the power of metta. And of course, metta, not only is it being on good terms with yourself, meditation is a way we can recondition the mind, to develop a habit in the mind to go to this more positive quality of kindness, gentleness, acceptance of ourselves and others. And of course, this positive emotion overcomes negative emotions. There's not the room for them. And there's plenty of them, the aversion, anger, rage, fear, anxiety, depression, worry, loneliness, all these things. So it really helps build, heal emotional hurts and builds a sort of resilience in the mind, a positivity in the mind. And of course, loneliness is a big thing these days, isn't it? And metta is a wonderful way to connect us to others, even though you would think it's just in our mind. We're bringing to mind people, and that way feeling close to them. But oftentimes we can be close to people and we aren't emotionally close to them. And we're far away. So it's an important emotion. And of course, metta is not only through the mind, we have to develop it through our actions and our speech, very important. And in terms of meditation, this is how metta works or kindness, friendliness works for developing deep meditation, is it overcomes the defilements that block meditation. So this is the selling points for metta. I don't think people need them really. And of course, it's a very pleasant state of mind to have. And Buddha describes it as, in the English translation, as a sublime abiding. So that's really, really something wonderful. And we can develop metta, as I mentioned, through our speech, our action, and our mind. And I just wanted to emphasize that it's so important in terms of speech, not only our outside speech, our speech to others, but the speech to ourselves. If that self-talk is coming from metta, is positive, is soothing, is kind, it makes a big difference. Because I think everybody knows that often self-talk can be very negative, and so it's something we have to work on, cultivating this more positive self-talk that supports us, that encourages us, that doesn't judge us, that doesn't look at just our failings. And the Buddha mentions we should not only develop metta or kindness, friendliness in private, that's on our own, but in public too, so that it's in both, all 24/7 really. And it's daily life is very important because that's where we have most of the problems. So, and the process for doing this, of course, everybody's, as I mentioned, this is a feeling that we're focusing on. But we can use words, and we have words like may you be happy and well, of course, and free from suffering, that sort of thing. But these are only a support for bringing up the feeling or maintaining the feeling. And we'll need to change them if they stop bringing up the feeling. And the other way of developing the kindness or friendliness meditation is using visualizations. And Ayakema was really good at this. And she had flower garden in the heart. And another one was sun in the heart or moon in the heart. And tonight I was thinking of doing the sun in the heart meditation. It's pretty cold, so it's a good chance. Ajahn Brahm also, he uses images of imaginary pets, visualizations of imaginary pets, something that we can really bring up that sort of feeling of metta quite easily. You can also use concepts I do quite often, best friend or mother's love for a child. And also opening the door of your heart, that's probably a concept really. So we're focusing on the good qualities of ourselves and others, and that we are looking at what's right about ourselves and others and the situations in our lives, whether they're work, school, wherever we find ourselves. And this is really reducing a very, very much conditioned fault-finding mind. With the fault-finding mind, looks at what's wrong, what could be better, but it fails to see what's there, that's what's positive. So this critical mind is something that metta overcomes. And of course, I think it's very important the way we develop the metta too is often it's easier if we start by wishing ourselves and others to overcome negative mind states like fear, anxiety, anger, depression, restlessness, whatever it is. There's plenty, and bodily pains too. So it's body and mind, isn't it? And then wishing ourselves other positive mental states like happiness, contentment, warmth, acceptance, friendliness, and well-being. Sometimes if we start from the positive, it's too much because the mind may be in a more negative frame of mind. So it's good to start with the negative often and wishing to be free of that. So as I often do that chant, may you abide in well-being, in freedom from affliction, in freedom from hostility, in freedom from ill will, in freedom from anxiety, and may you maintain well-being in yourselves. So that's, most of that is concerned with being free of these negative states, which is metta in another form. And so I'd like to finish with that saying that I often use when I'm teaching a metta, which is from Gaur Gopal Das, is on the internet. And he said in one of his videos I saw it ages ago, if we want to be loved, we may not be. But if we want to give love, who can stop us? So that's lovely. Who can stop us? And actually we're filled with that love or that metta, and we have that experience of it for ourselves. But if we're waiting for someone to give, to love us, to appreciate us, we may wait a long time and we miss out on the emotion of metta, which is such a rich emotion and something that connects us, that attracts others to ourselves and is very pleasant for us. So that's the introduction to the guided meditation on metta. And this is, as I mentioned, it's called Sun in the Heart. So now we'll turn the lights down and then we can start the guided meditation. So now we can, if you just got the bell. Yeah, thank you very much. So now we can close the eyes if we wish, and we can come into the present moment. Just arriving here, wherever here is for you. Just letting the past be and letting the future be. There's nothing we have to do for the moment and nowhere we have to go. We're free here in the present moment. And we can check out the body to see if it needs any adjustments, whether the legs need to be changed, the position changed, or if we feel the head is not balanced over the shoulders, that sense of balance and relaxation, but an alert posture. Now we can bring to mind someone who's been really kind to us, that's been very caring, a warm person, that's been there for us, that's accepted us as we are. It might be a relative, an uncle, an auntie, often a grandparent. Or it could be someone like a teacher even, who has been there for us, or a doctor, someone that has been really kind to us. So we can bring them to mind and get in contact with the feeling that often comes up when we think of people who have really been kind to us. There have been examples of kindness, friendliness, selflessness. And usually when we get in contact with that feeling, it's a warm feeling that we feel in the chest. A warm feeling of metta, of friendliness, that kindness that we experience, that we echo, that we feel. And as I say, usually in the chest area. And we can visualize this warm feeling as like a sun in the heart, radiating this warmth and brilliant light from our chests, filling the whole of our bodies, starting at the top of the head, relaxing and soothing with this warm friendliness, kindness, and moving down to the face with this warmth and kindness of the sun in our heart, metta. And moving down to the neck, all around it, soothing with this warm, relaxing energy of metta, the sun in our heart. And moving down to the shoulders, allowing them to really relax. Like a mental massage with this metta, this friendliness, kindness. And then down the arms, all around the arms, down to the fingertips. This warm, brilliant light and warmth of the sun in our hearts. And now we can bring to mind the back And this the warm rays of the sun in our hearts, relaxing the back of this warm metta, healing energy of friendliness, acceptance, relaxation. Now we can bring to mind the front of the body and allow the warmth and radiance, brilliant light of the sun in our heart to soothe, to seep into all the areas of the front of the body, relaxing it, healing it, soothing those areas. Any painful, tense areas or areas where there's pressure, really allowing these rays of the sun of metta to relax them, to heal them. And now we can bring to mind the legs, starting at the top of the legs, and moving our attention, moving the sun in our heart, extending the rays of warmth, of light to the legs, relaxing them, soothing them, bathing them in this warmth of metta, of friendliness, of kindness, right down to the feet and the toes. And now we can bring to mind the whole body sitting here, filled with the glow and the ease of this warm metta, the sun in our hearts. It's just radiating light and warmth throughout the whole body. And now we can fill our minds and our hearts with this beautiful, brilliant light and warmth of the sun in our heart, banishing any of the darkness, any of the heaviness of any negative mental states, irritation, any anxiety, fear, depression, whatever it, loneliness, whatever it be, allowing the brilliant warmth and light of metta to banish those dark states of mind. So the mind is filled with this warmth, light, and purity. And we can extend, radiate this beautiful sun of metta, of friendliness, kindness, towards the present moment, whatever we're experiencing in the present moment, be it sounds, be it the temperature, be it the breathing of the body, whatever it is that's happening, we're just filling it with this beautiful, radiant, warm, accepting feeling of friendliness, kindness, of metta. Whatever is happening in the present moment, not pushing it away, but embracing it with this warmth, kindness, of metta in the heart. Feeling at ease with the present moment, bathed with this warm glow of the metta, the sun of metta in the heart. And if the mind wanders off, we can remember this sun in our hearts, this sun of metta, of kindness and friendliness. Come back to the present moment. And when we become aware of the breath, we can fill the breath with this brilliant warmth and light of the sun of metta from our hearts, breathing it in to ourselves and breathing it out to the world, everyone around us, all beings. As we breathe in this warm lightness, relaxed kindness, breathing it out to the world, to everyone around us. And now we can radiate this beautiful, warm, kind, gentle rays of the sun in our heart to all those that are around us at this time, whether it be in the hall or online, at home, wherever you are, radiating this warm, kind feeling of metta to them, wishing that they may be free of all those difficulties, sicknesses, illnesses, problems with the body, and also all those difficulties, difficult emotions, the anger, the negativity, the depression, the fear, anxiety, whatever it is, may you be free of these. May you develop this peace and warmth of metta, the stability, security, safety of metta in your heart. And now we can radiate this beautiful, warm, friendly, kind metta, the sun in our hearts, to all those around where we are, whether it be in the hall, whether it be online, to all those beings around us, the animals, the humans, the animals, the insects, the unseen beings, all beings. And we can just keep radiating further and further all around us to cover the whole earth and all the realms of existence. This beautiful, bright, brilliant, warm rays of metta, filling these beings, healing these beings of problems of their bodies and the difficulties of their minds with this kind, accepting, gentle metta. really caring for all those beings everywhere. This warm metta that connects us, that embraces all the problems, all the difficulties. This warm rays of brilliant sunlight of metta. Now we can come back to ourselves and to reflect on what we experienced in the meditation. How do I feel now? We can ask ourselves. Is it different from when I started the meditation or not? And what feelings did I experience during the meditation? Did I experience these warm feelings of kindness, friendliness, gentleness, whatever? What did we feel? And also, what caused these feelings to arise? What brought them up? And we can have the aspiration or the intention to develop more of this friendliness, kindness, the warmth of the sun in the heart in our lives, for ourselves and for others, as much as possible. And not only through our minds, through our hearts, but through our speech and through our actions, particularly our speech to ourselves, our self-talk. And we can anchor this feeling of the sun of metta in our hearts and remember it any time and come back to the warmth, brilliance, of the kindness, friendliness of metta. And now I'll ring the bell 3 times and we can come out of meditation if we wish. can turn the light up. And
To connect JUL Week 710, go to the Bluetooth menu on your mobile device and select it from the list. No device connected. Smartphone. To connect Jabra Speak 710, go to the Bluetooth menu on your mobile device and select it from the list.
Ajahn, can you hear us?
yes, just there we are. That's it.
Smartphone connected.
Can you hear me now through the Jabra speaker?
No, we're not. We're hearing you through, I think, through your...
All right.
Okay.
Oh, that's on default. That's good. Oh, that's... I think the speaker actually was running... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, it says 100% remaining. Right, so...
It's very fortunate this happened right at the very end.
Yes, that's true. I'm not quite sure which one I can... Yeah.
Ajahn, while you're sorting that out, maybe I'll do some announcements.
All right, that's good.
Okay.
Thank you.
So just a couple of announcements here. So the first one is for an event that we've got on this Sunday. So on Sunday, the 7th of July at 12:45 p.m, the BSV will hold the first of a series of regular dialogues with our broader BSV community. This is your chance to be part of something impactful and help shape the future of our community. The goal of these sessions are to foster open discussions and gather your ideas on how we can enhance our community engagement activities. Whether it's Dharma-related activities, social gatherings, or activities for our Sunday Dharma School, Teens Group, Citizen, or broader community at the Buddhist Centre, Newbury Monastery, or our online community, we really want to hear from you. Registrations is not required, and the session will be available for our online community to participate via Zoom. For those who want to participate via Zoom, please check the link in our newsletter website or on the Discord event area. The second announcement's for the following week on the Sunday. For those interested, the BS will be conducting a cyber safety session on Sunday the 14th of July from 12:30 p.m. here at the Buddhist Centre. The session is intended to raise awareness and provide some best practices to secure your accounts and mobile devices, and we'll be covering a couple of areas, including common ways your accounts are hacked and how you can reduce the risk of that happening, methods for securing your devices and accounts. We'll be covering off some areas such as multi-factor authentication and use of password managers and VPNs. So in terms of the teaching program for the coming week, so tomorrow night, Sandeep Karki is running the layperson-led meditation here at the Buddhist Centre. That's at 7:30 p.m. And then on Saturday, this Saturday, we've got Bhante Bodhidharma, who's running the day retreat. The theme will be Relax and Grow, and that starts at 8:30 a.m. and goes till 4:30 p.m. If you are coming along to that, please bring your lunch with you, okay? So there won't be like a lunch dana arrangements like we have on a Sunday. Also, in terms of other programs that we have running, we've got Make Meditation a Healthy Habit, which runs from Monday to Thursday nights at 7 p.m. And their 20-minute monastic-led guided meditation sits on Discord. And then we have a New Day, New Mind, which is a daily meditation group, which you can do between 4 a.m. and 6:30 a.m. And on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, Ajahn Nando provides some guidance from 6 to 6:30 a.m. And Bhante Bodhidharma is also doing a bit of guidance for us on some in-between days. And then next week's teaching program. So on Saturday, it will be Bhante Bodhidharma doing the retreat. He'll be here again on Sunday morning, and he'll be giving us the Dhamma talk, part 3 of the talk on living and dying. And then Monday night, it'll be Bhante Bodhidharma, but Ajahn Bodhidharma giving the guided meditation. So that's it for announcements. Have we got the speaker working now, Ajahn?
Not yet.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have.
I think. Can you hear?
Yes, but we've got frozen video. Ajahn, if you can hear us, we've lost your link. So we've got frozen video. We can't hear any audio from you. Maybe we can meditate for a few minutes. Perhaps we can meditate for a few minutes.
Hello? Hello, Sriju.
Yes, we've got you, Ajahn.
Ah, good. That was a bit of juggling between. I'm now on the earbuds. Yeah, they're called buds. And so, yes, there we are. We can go back to the. Let's see. That's it. That's. Oh no. Let's see. There we are. So
Okay.
I can. Good. There we are.
Well, thank you, Ajahn, for getting back online. We did lose half of the audience here in the room, but we've retained our online audience on YouTube.
All right. Good. So I don't know if there are any questions or comments. There's maybe even from, well, I have one person here. Conrado is here.
So we've got a couple of questions online. Is there any questions in the audience here? Those that are left in the audience here. No?
Decimated by the technical difficulty. Yeah.
Okay, I'll go to the question from online here. So question, my dear Ajahn Nissarano, in the first jhana, what senses have disappeared? Thank you.
All right. I think I know who's asking this, and of course that's a very deep question about meditation. The first jhana, of course, we are in that state. The Buddha mentions we're free of unwholesome qualities and free of the sensory contact. So really, to be in jhana would be all the five senses would not be operating, but the Buddha mentions that sound can be something that brings someone out of jhana. So that's what we would usually say. In order to experience these deep states of meditation, we have to leave the external world and go to the inner world. That's the whole point of it. If there's any interest in the external world, hearing, smelling, tasting, or touching, we won't be inside. We won't be
with a very unified mind that is just experiencing joy and happiness. This is piti sukha. We won't have that oneness of experience. Once there is any sensory experience, we're in duality. We're the ones hearing it, seeing it, smelling it, tasting and touching it. So usually, so this is important that we let go of the five sense world. Otherwise, we can't go to the inner world, and that world that is the first jhana. There is initial attention, sustained attention, or movement of the mind onto the object, and then sustaining it. And then there's joy and happiness. This is really the objects that become the focus of that experience. And then the one-pointedness, that's the unity of the mind in that experience. So that's what I would say, and that's very not an unusual explanation of first jhana. And it will be an experience that's so unlike anything that one has had in the five sense world. We've left the five sense world for the world of the mind. So that is so a lot of the whole interest in the outside world has gone for the time of that meditation, that first jhana. So I hope that hope that answers the question, or has gives you some food for thought. Or if you'd like to come back and ask something further, you're welcome to.
Thank you, Ajahn. Is there any question here in the room? Ajahn, did you say there was a question there in the hall with you, where you are?
I don't know. There's one person. Maybe that one person has a question. No, no. Conrado doesn't have a question. Okay. So there.
Okay, there is
very exclusive teaching tonight.
It is. There's a second question here. Dear Ajahn, how do I develop wisdom along with karuna? I feel very sorry for a person in a bad situation, but of their own creation. They don't take responsibility. They don't take responsibility and learn. My feeling sorry is pointless. So me feeling sorry is pointless.
All right. Wow. That doesn't sound like karuna, compassion, because people often can't see the causes of their suffering, or the self-created causes, the causes that are coming from within them, or playing out again and again. So karuna, this is compassion, really has that not only feeling sorry for them, but feeling a sense of connection for them too, and a wish that they may be free of this experience or this difficulty that they have in their life, be it physical or mental. So it's really something that sees the human condition, doesn't it? And it understands that, yes, we don't see the way out of some of our problems. We don't see how much we're contributing to these problems, and that's quite a common thing. So it's not really, if we enter a mind state where we're judging beings, we're no longer having karuna for them. Definitely not. We're no longer having compassion for them. We are actually just judging them as being lacking, or that they're not helping themselves, that sort of idea. And that often is the case, but in actual fact that can give us more grounds for compassion, because you think, wow, they're locked into this, and how can they come out of it? So it's really, when we're developing these like metta or kindness, friendliness, karuna, compassion, caring for others, or joy with others' success, and upekkha, acceptance, or equanimity. These are states of mind we're experiencing, we're looking after. So If we find that, that karuna may need to shift really to upekkha, to this sense of acceptance, understanding that we are all heirs of our actions of body, speech, and mind. We are all shaped by them. We are the owners of them, the Buddha says. And this is a very powerful force for making us the way we are at this moment. And of course, that upekkha, or that acceptance, can appreciate that this is the way this person is at the moment. Whether it's something that we find we agree with or not, we understand that they're like that at this moment because of all the actions of body, speech, and mind, and all the influences have contributed to the present moment. So this is probably a good shift, is actually so that the mind states we're developing are positive, are supportive, because this upekkha is not an indifference. It's actually quite a warm acceptance, and a warm understanding of the nature, our human condition, which is that we're all so conditioned by our actions of body, speech, and mind, the influences in our lives that have driven us to act, speak, and think in particular ways. And that has arrived. The person's like this, we're like this at this moment, but it's not fixed. So it's probably better at those times to develop upekkha, so have this sort of acceptance of others, rather than thinking that, well, this is a waste of time, isn't it, really? I mean, people are not going to, are they? They're not going to behave or come out of their situations because we feel that they should. In actual fact, you see that we are, each and every one of us is very much trapped in our habits. And these actions, body, speech, and mind, I feel are very strong habits. They can either be negative habits or positive habits. And when we see that, when we understand that, we don't judge others, even though you may have seen this behavior many, many times. That this person is showing, or speech, or all these sorts of things. So really, we are looking after our mind state, and if it's good, then that can be of benefit to certainly to ourselves and to others. So this karuna, this empathy, is really seeing deeply that the human condition is like this. It's subject to this impermanence, which leads to things being unsatisfactory. They can never be completely satisfying. They can never be perfect, because impermanence will move on. Either they will change or we'll change. Seeing deeply into that and seeing the non-self nature of that experience, that it is so heavily conditioned by all these, by our habits and the influences in our lives, that can allow us to have compassion for people, and people in situations where we feel that they're just trapped in it, trapped in this form of behavior, maybe self-destructive behavior, maybe terrible mind states of anger or fear, or maybe in addictive states of mind, addicted to whatever. There's so much that one can be addicted to: drugs, alcohol, internet. You hear a lot of this now, digital, cyber addiction or digital addiction. There's so much, and that really, seeing deeply, the deeper we see into the nature of reality, the more compassion we will have, the more we'll know that people, what they really are looking for, even though this is not how they're behaving, or it's not happening, they're looking for happiness, but obviously not in a way that's actually going to contribute to their happiness. So I think this is important. But if we see that this compassion is not working for us, that it's creating negative states of mind, that are judgmental, disappointed, that others are not changing, then move to upekkha, I think, is better. because then, you know, that will hopefully give us more acceptance of people being as they are at this moment. So that would be my answer to that question. It's an interesting question. I think it's very difficult in situations where we're experiencing something over and over again with another person to have that, to continue to have that compassion. But certainly acceptance can help, and also the realization that we are going towards a negative state of mind. It's not for our well-being, and certainly won't help the other person either. And of course, in the end too, you know, if we find we're in situations where we just feel we can't help, then we can step out and maybe step back in later when we feel that it's possible for us to do something, or maybe even that step can help the person to come out of whatever situation they're trapped in. All right, I hope that was somewhat answered the question.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Yes, thank you, Richard.
Any questions here in the audience?
Mm-hmm.
There's another two here, Ajahn. I don't know whether we'll have time
All right.
for both of those, but
Yeah.
the first one here
All right.
Is it true that when we are practicing vipassana, we're tuned to be more sensitive towards our mood changes? For example, it's easier to identify anger as kileshas, sadness as kileshas, and so on.
Oh, is it easier when we're doing vipassana? I would say that it's actually easier if we're doing satipatthana. This is really the point, which is not quite the same as vipassana. But of course, you know, the focuses for satipatthana, the four focuses of mindfulness are the body, the feelings, the Vedana, or experience, as Ajahn Brahm calls Vedana, pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral, and also the mind states. This is what this person's talking about, whether they be the kileshas or even positive mind states, you know, the mind states of the mind coming together, of developing positive, deep meditation. That's all part of satipatthana, of the focuses of mindfulness, as is Dhammanupassana, which is looking on from the point of view of Dhamma, recognizing things for what they are. So in other words, recognizing the kilesa for what they are. These are the defilements, you know, whether it be a lot of desire in the mind, whether it be ill will in the mind, whether it be restlessness and worry, or sleep, drowsiness and dullness, or worry, or doubt. That's the last one. You know, so yes, I think if we're practicing satipatthana, we can pick up on these much easier. It always amazes me, and I think many people will have experienced this, that you come across people who don't seem to have a lot of self-awareness, you know, which is extraordinary. They don't seem to realize, don't seem to be able to pick up on the mind states that are coming up for them. And certainly if their mindfulness increases, they would be able to see those mind states coming up. And that will be very helpful. And then, you know, that will form the basis for insight, for vipassana. So it's really, the importance of mindfulness cannot be overestimated. And that mindfulness needs really to really get strong, to be as free as possible of negative mind states. Then, of course, there'll be the positive mind states to see in Chittanupassana, which is the mindfulness of the mind itself, the mind states. So I hope that answered that question, or, you know, gave some thought, gave some food for thought about it. Yeah. So this is very important, as self-awareness, because without it, we can't really grow. Without that sort of ability to reflect, it's difficult. And of course, this is what the Buddha is talking about when he's teaching his son, actually. And he says, what's the purpose of a mirror? And his son says, well, the purpose of the mirror is to reflect, or reflect the image that it's of the face that's looking at that mirror. And of course, we need the mirror of the mind to be able to reflect well on our actions of body, speech, and mind. We're talking about mind at the moment. So this reflective quality is so important in developing meditation, developing wisdom, and is not always there for some people. It's quite interesting. Yeah, quite interesting. So I hope that was okay, of use anyway. So thank you for your question, and if you have any follow-up question, or you're welcome to ask them.
Thank you,
And
Ajahn.
maybe the last one.
Have you got time for one more?
Yeah, I think so. Here it says 8:57, so it's not too bad.
All right. So the question is, what makes our mind more nimble and easy to see our own mental habits/patterns and break out of it? Is it simple, clear mindfulness?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. Make our minds nimble and clear. Yes, it definitely mindfulness is would allow us to do that, because then we would, we'd be able to see the states of our mind, as I mentioned in the last question, much more clearly. And of course, when we develop, samadhi or one-pointedness or stillness in the mind too, that is very helpful too, because then after the mind has experienced these states, whatever degree, obviously the deeper the better, then after that time it is very sensitive and can pick up on a lot of things that ordinarily we're not aware of, actually, because we haven't got that focus, that attention, and that purity of mind that allows us to see what's going on. Because what will happen with samadhi, of course, mind states the negative mind states will start to gradually come back, and we can see them coming, I suppose you could say. But so mindfulness and samadhi, both important for that, and also the wisdom too, and looking at through at our experience through the lens of Dhamma. That can be very helpful too, especially the hindrances, especially the 7 factors of awakening. Those and also for the Noble Eightfold Path, the Four Noble Truths, all that can be very, very helpful for seeing the mind states that are coming up, and particularly the mind state of craving, wanting, expecting, desiring. Those mind states, which are really key to the Four Noble Truths. So thank you for that question. I hope that answered it somewhat, but it was pretty much like the previous answer, mindfulness, but samadhi as well. And yes. Some of Vayama always in there too, isn't it? That right effort and also right intention is a very important aspect of the path as well. That's and right view, they all play a major part in our ability to see things clearly, and have that nimbleness of mind. That's a nice way of putting it. It reminds me of, the description of the mind after very deep meditation that the Lord Buddha talks about, particularly the 4th jhana. That's very deep. That it's malleable, it's really nimble. It's really it can do so much. It's so flexible and powerful. So a mind like that is really then becomes quite a tool for investigation and for seeing things really clearly, and obviously going towards breakthrough. the first stage of enlightenment or the Four Noble Truths will be much, much easier with that sort of mind. A nimble mind, I like that. Yes. All right. So I think that's. Thank you for that question. I hope it was answered answered the question. And yes, you're welcome to come back with other questions on another occasion, I think. So we can finish up now. And those who would like to pay respects to Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, welcome to do that. I will, actually, yes, I will bow too, I think. Can. And thank you very much to all those that persevered through the technical problems too. All right. Good night from Ajahn Nissarano at Newbury Buddhist Monastery.
Thank you very much, Ajahn.